powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Say it ain't so. I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home. Welcome to Game Over Calgary on the heels of a Calgary Flames 4-1 loss over the reigning Stanley Cup champions Colorado Avalanche. My name is Audie James. Welcome to SDPN Sports Game Over. This is going to be a good one. I've got a lot to say. I got a lot to say tonight, and I'm sure that my guest does as well. Welcome, Zoo. How you doing, brother?
Hello. Than's for having me on the show.
Of course. This was a long time in the making, and
Yes.
hey, producer Drew's already here. He's gonna. I think I don't know if he's caught up, but I definitely started singing the lyrics before Drew started putting the lyrics in there. Yeah, this was not something that I was looking forward to. This is one of those games that when you look at it on the schedule, even before the puck drops, you're like, shit. This is one of those scheduled losses. First of all, I'm a very bad host. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, I mean, could be doing better, but I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
I'm sure everybody in Flamesland could be doing better. What were your thoughts coming into this one? Like, I'm just gonna cut right to the chase here. Like, I don't know. For me, it was like I said, scheduled L. The way this team's been playing, if they were playing any better, maybe they'd stand a fighting chance, but just not a great outing. What were your thoughts coming into it?
Yeah, this is one of those tough ones where, Colorado's been on a roll lately. They're looking to be once again finishing top in the Western Conference. Yeah, it's one of those where you don't have too many expectations going in, but yet the Flames still somehow managed to absolutely decimate any expectations you had. So it is a tough one for the Flames, a tough loss, and they got a pretty important stretch coming up here.
Oh my God. We've been saying that for 3 weeks. We've been saying that. We've been saying that for so long now. But hey, before we get any further, you want to bet? Yeah. Yeah, you want to bet? Then get in on the action with our friends at Sports Interaction. The boys of summer are back on the diamond, and March Madness is on deck. Hey, you know what? If the Flames ain't got me, I know my Blue Jays got me. They got a big W today, their first spring training game. Kikuchi looked good, but we'll save that for Game Over Blue Jays. Perhaps. Ooh. I know Rob's watching and producer Drew, Game Over Blue Jays. Bet pregame, live and play are on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN, or if you're in the province of Ontario, or AKA the motherland, as I like to call it, I'm from Ontario, there's a QR code right here on your screen. Download the app, scan it, and you will get the Sports Interaction app. It's going to be at the bottom of the screen right here for the duration of our stream, and you can download the app at any time and get your betting in there. 19 plus, please play responsibly. And if you or anybody you know has any issues with gambling, please be sure to check the show notes. There are lots of great resources in there for you to reach out and get some help. Okay, let's start this thing off here. I'm going to take you back to the beginning. Let's go way back.
All right.
What's that Hillary Duff song? Let's go back to the beginning. The first shot on goal, the very first Avs shot on goal, was a goal. I'm gonna read you a stat here, and I'm not sure if you knew it. Where the heck did I write it down? It is okay. Actually, let's do a little bit of trivia. We'll get the chat involved too. We'll get the chat involved too, because this is going to be a fun one. We'll give the chat a bit of time to catch up. So I'm going to read you the question, and then you got to take your best guess at what the correct response is. Okay.
All right.
Jacob Markstrom, this was his 39th start of the season. How many of those 39 starts has he allowed the first shot of the game to be a goal? I'll start with you. Explain your rationale. Give me your number, and that'll give the chat some time to catch up. And perhaps maybe they saw the stat pop up on the screen. Maybe you did as well. I'm sure you did.
I did. I was gonna say you wanted me to explain my rationale. My rationale was gonna be that I saw the stat.
Yeah, it popped up. I'll give the chat a little bit of time to catch up. Thomas saying 15, Ball and 12 saying 20. Everybody who saw the stat is putting the correct answer in there. Matt saying 27. The correct answer is 7. So of his 39 starts thus far, he's allowed the first goal on the first shot 7 times. I would like to
Yeesh.
know how many times he's not only let the first shot in, but the second shot of the,
The
game,
second.
because that was also something that happened in tonight's game.
That's true.
And I just want to know, because I feel like every guest I have on here, we kind of have a similar conversation. Are the Flames in trouble between can Markstrom bounce back? Like, it really truly, and look, I always preface with, at the beginning of the year, he was the whipping boy, and I was, and I'm sure everybody on Twitter knows it. Paul, I can see you in the chat. My guy, you knew that I was on the Let's Defend Markstrom train, and we had Paul on the show not too long ago as well.
Yeah.
But look, he was the whipping boy for a while, but now it's borderline inexcusable. He needs to make a save. Just give me your thoughts on Markstrom, not only tonight, but how he's been, I guess, throughout his 39 starts of the season.
Yeah, it really feels like that series against the Oilers last year kind of just ruined Markstrom. It's been very bad when you're paying a goalie $6 million to start between the pipes. His play has been abysmal, and it's tough too, because you got a guy like Dan Vladar who's young. He's trying to prove himself. He's behind Markstrom.
Yep.
And you see the connection between the two as well. They're both so good friends on and off the ice, So it's tough to see, Markstrom have bad starts, and you have a guy like Vladar who is definitely pushing to take that starter position, and it keeps going back to Markstrom. And on top of that, you got a guy like Dustin Wolf down in the minors who's on pace to win back-to-back AHL goalie of the year.
He's so good.
He's so good. How is he a 7th-round pick?
I know.
That's
I know.
just
The
mind-boggling.
Flames, if the Flames are good at anything, they're good at finding the diamond in the rough players late in the draft. And that's something that True Living scouting team will give them credit for.
Yes.
Tree himself. But I'm not so sure Tree's going to want to be coming back after this year. Like, look, man, he's
Bring
on
Kyle Dubas over.
Yeah, bring Kyle Dubas over. I don't even think Kyle Dubas. Could you imagine Kyle Dubas and Brad Treliving or Daryl Sutter working together? That's fucking. That the thought of that makes my skin crawl for Dubas's sake.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating. I don't think
is.
he's coming back. I wouldn't blame him if he didn't come back. It seems as though this organization and I hate to bring it back to the whole let's get rid of Daryl Sutter thing, but look, I kind of want to address one thing too. A lot of people online were like, "Oh, Audie, you were beating the drum of Sutter was, winning Coach of the Year last year." A lot of things can change from season to season. Like, I don't know what you expect from people. Like, sure, he was great last year. That doesn't mean he's going to be great this year. He's been questionable in much of his deployment this year. A lot of fans are clamoring for him to be booted out the door, and there's a lot of Daryl Sutter defenders out there, and that's fine. You're allowed to like the guy. We're allowed to have healthy, not confrontation, but
banter, I guess.
Yeah, we're allowed to disagree, and we're
Yeah.
allowed to keep it respectful, keep it healthy. But I just don't know how it does to you. Does it look like this team is getting up for Daryl Sutter?
No, not at
a
all.
fucking chance.
Not even close. And that's the problem too, is that especially in those games against those bottom teams like Arizona, Montreal, Columbus,
Ottawa.
games like that, Ottawa, that's a huge one. You, as a coach, it is your responsibility to bring the best out of your players and make your players perform at the peak of their playing ability. And it's so evident in that Flames locker room that Sutter's just not getting it done.
No.
You look at the Flames team last year. They had so much chemistry. They were always, off the ice. They were all together. They were always like everything about that Flames team was just so in tune together. And you look at this year, you lose your stars in Gaudreau and Kachuk. You bring in new stars in Kadri and Huberdeau, but the main core roster stays the same. But what's one thing that has changed from last year to this year? It's the fact that the Flames are not gelling together. The lines have been shuffled all around to make, to adjust for the new acquisitions of the new players. But even though we're this far, we're a week from the trade deadline, and we still don't have chemistry on the ice. Yeah. And that is something that Sutter is supposed to be doing as the head coach, is getting that chemistry and getting that team together and bringing them up for every game, let alone the bottom teams. So that's one thing that I find that, yeah, Daryl Sutter's not getting it done.
And to Eric's point in the chat, he brings up a good point too. It's not Sutter's fault entirely. How can he be? How can he change terrible goaltending and terrible power play and terrible 3-on-3 overtime? Okay, the one rebuttal I would have for the 3-on-3 overtime is it kind of comes back to the deployment thing. If I recall correctly, the last overtime that they lost, which was their game against Vegas,
yes.
Was it not like Backlund, Tanev, and I can't remember who the third forward or the second forward.
It wasn't a star. That's for sure.
Like that's who you start with in 3-on-3 overtime. Like, sure, I guess you want probably Backlund and one of your better face-off guys to take that
possession.
You get possession and then you go for a change. But like, Elias Lindholm can win face-offs too. You don't have to put Tanev out there. I love Tanev, but he's not my first blue liner over the boards on
a 3-on-3 overtime. No.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think you've got a point there, Eric, and your point makes sense. And the power play's been abysmal. I would be absolutely flabbergasted if Kirk Muller is back behind the bench in any fucking capacity next year. His deployment of their power play and the fact that it's just been so abysmal all year it's shocking to me that he's still employed to this day. But again, he's probably a Sutter guy, and I don't know if that's something that he has a little bit more say in. And then the whole goaltending thing too is a very solid point as well. I mean, as much as we've loved to love Vladar, as of late, hasn't really been the same Vladar that everybody's been pumping the tires of this year. And all of a sudden, the Flames are in this predicament between the pipes where both of your goalies are playing at a sub 900 save percentage, and they can't finish. They still take so many perimeter shots, and they're not creating as many high danger chances as you would like them to. And it's frustrating. Jay Money saying, Audie using the word flabbergasted. I'm proud. You're using the thesaurus I got for you at Christmas. Thank you, Jay Money. Thank you. I've been expanding on my my vocabulary here for Game Over. But just your thoughts on that too, because like everything there down to Kirk Muller and the poor goaltending, it's been a colossal failure on many levels this year for the Calgary Flames. Is that fair to say?
That is absolutely fair to say, and I think it's tough because the Flames are obviously going through a lot. You lose your top two players, and that's something that, yes, it's tough to bounce back from that, but this is a professional sport and you have to bounce back from that.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely with Kirk Muller, when you have a power play unit that's got guys like Huberdeau, Kadri, Lindholm, 25 goal scorer Tyler Toffoli.
Peltier's looked okay.
How are you? Yeah.
Right?
Peltier's even looked good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have Mangiapane, who was scoring like crazy last year. Like, how do you not have a power play unit that's at least in the top half of the league? Like, that's just unacceptable. And the Flames the whole coaching staff has been just not producing, and then you can tell by their on ice effort as well that that's translating. So
here's an interesting stat that I just pulled up.
Let's hear it.
A couple actually. The Flames, if you were to guess the Flames power play percentage this year, what would your guess be?
Ooh, do they break 20%? I'm gonna say no.
So they just break 20%. They're operating at 20.2, which is just like marginally better than what you'd expect. Which is tied for 21st in the league. Their shooting percentage is at 9.0%, which is tied for 29th in the league. But their shots on goal are second in the NHL.
Ooh. So
their shooting percentage is fucking abysmal as well. Even though, and that's just like the shot quality conversation, right? Yeah. How many times have we seen this team put up 45 shots and still lose 3-2, right?
Look at the Arizona game. They're out shooting them 38-9. You're down 3-1.
The Buffalo game.
Yeah.
They were down 2-1 heading into the second period. Buffalo had 3 shots on goal. Like, what?
They held Buffalo to under 10 shots at the end of the second.
Yeah.
Like, that just doesn't make any sense.
I'm so glad Kleiner was on that game, and I was like, Hannah and I were out like looking at wedding photography places to get our pictures done, and I was just watching the updates on my phone, and we were both looking at each other like, what a good game to A, not be able to watch the first little bit, and B, not have to cover. But I digress. We're here talking about yet another Calgary Flames loss. By the way, the Audi streak for wins comes to an end tonight, and that's it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, quick call to action here. 74 people watching. That's a heck of a lot. That's a heck of a lot more than we've had as of late. This is awesome. We're getting the zoo bump, which is good to see. For the 74 people in here, please be sure help the algorithm out. Hit the like button. Subscribe to SDPN Sports. Lots of great content, and you can ring the bell to see whenever we go live for Game Over as well. So you don't even have to do half the work. When I go live, you'll just see that we're going live. But in addition to that, please share the stream, get it out on social media. Let's get more people in here as well to talk about this abysmal loss. The Calgary Flames losing 4-1 over one of the league's best in the Colorado Avalanche. Okay, let's get into some of these comments as well. Conrad, the disdain towards Daryl Sutter continues. If Daryl Sutter has a million haters, then I'm one of them. If Daryl Sutter has one hater, then I'm that one.
Then I'm that one.
If Daryl Sutter has no haters, that means I'm dead. Awesome. Incredible work. Let's see here. James Johnson says, I can't believe that Avs team was on a back-to-back LOL. And that's also very true. That was a good team. And yeah, we'll kind of get into the Avs too in a little bit here as we chug along on Game Over Calgary. Doogie, how are you, buddy? The reaction after the Toffoli goal says everything you need to know about this group. No emotion, no excitement, nothing. Especially when the game was still there to win at that stage. And that is 100% true. It's something that I've noticed too is the lack of emotion. The only player, and correct me if I'm wrong, the only player that I think has shown any slight bit of emotion as of late is none other than the youngster himself, Jacob Pelletier.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jacob Pelletier has just been just shot out of a cannon. He's in the corners, which is crazy for a small guy. He's got so much speed coming in with the puck. He's always looking to get open for a chance. He has looked just so good. And you can tell that he's taking this opportunity that he's finally been given on the big squad, and he is making it count, and he's just looked phenomenal.
He's looked so good. I'm so happy he's thriving, and I'm so happy that the coach has given him his shot. We've seen with guys like Matty Phillips that they haven't really kept him up, but it's good to see. It's good to see Jacob Pelletier. He's going to be one of the future studs of this organization for a while. So, Anthony saying, how was this a scheduled loss for the Flames when the Avs were on a back-to-back? This is where I would insert that meme. First time. First time. That would be that's my response to this. Flames fucked me on the over, couldn't even contribute. That one from Thomas. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure Dave Bastel over at Sports Interaction is licking his chops at that one though. Eric once again saying, done watching the Flames this year. They are the most boring team I've ever seen. That is not tanking. Go Oilers 2023. That's tough. Tough. Producer Drew chiming in saying, honestly, Flames should just sell at the deadline. This team isn't going anywhere as is. Fire Sutter, add some picks and prospects, come back even better in 23-24. That one coming from an Avs fan. And that would be kind of, I think, the temperature for most Flames fans as well, would you say?
Absolutely. I like the thing about it, right? This draft is so deep. So deep. Yep. And we have this perfect opportunity where we have some pending UFAs, and it's evident tonight that we are not a cup contender by any means. Take the opportunity. This type of draft class, it only comes around once in a blue moon, you know? It's crazy how deep it is, and why not take the chance and pick up some fantastic prospects and bounce back next year? You know, if you sell those pending UFAs, sign some players in free agency, sign a new coach, and then run with it, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good chance, you know, a good opportunity for the Flames there.
About coaching, I want to segue to that in a minute here. Oh geez, what was this comment here? Where the hell was it? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I lost it. It was a good one I wanted to bring up. Actually, this is what I was going to say. You don't even have to sell your pending UFAs, because we saw a trade today involving the Winnipeg Jets and the Nashville Predators where Nino Niederreiter got traded for a second, which first of all I thought was maybe some pretty tidy work from Kevin Cheveldayoff and the Winnipeg Jets. He still got term, and you got him for a second, not in this year's draft, but next year's draft, which was pretty tidy work for a guy who still got term. The Flames have some guys who maybe have a couple years left. We got guys like Noah Hannafin. If Oliver Shillington ends up coming back, Noah Hannafin is very tradable. I'm not holding my breath. Elias Lindholm, as much as it pains me, he's one of my favorite Flames right now.
Don't say that, man. Don't
Right?
say that.
Pending UFA, not this year, but the year after. Tyler Toffoli, whose stock probably couldn't be higher right now.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
how good would... And I'm not sure that, like, the Flames are going to do it because I'm pretty sure they're confident they're going to squeak in and they're going to try to make some noise, which I'm not so confident about.
No.
But, like, seeing what the Jets did today with that trade with the Preds, teams could very well be interested in players that still have a little bit of term left.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no
So-
kidding. Yeah, that trade with Winnipeg getting Nino Niederreiter, that was very good work by Cheveldayoff. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the Flames do have some very good trade value going on right now. They have some good contracts. They have some very solid players that would help teams in a deep cup run. And like I said earlier, take the chance. This draft class is deep.
Yeah, seriously. And that's the thing about draft picks, they're magic beans, but you can find some pretty like, and the Flames are good at it too. Aside
They're
from
very good at it.
the 2011 draft when they picked Tyler Wotherspoon, and then the following pick was none other than Nikita Kucherov. There's a really good story about that. I've told it a couple times on this show. That I was James and I were actually talking to Pat Steinberg about it, and he said that the Flames at the time thought that they were going to be able to get Kucherov in the 3rd or 4th round. They still wanted Gaudreau because they got Gaudreau in the 4th round, but they thought he was going to fall later. And sure as shit, the Tampa Bay Lightning scooped him up the pick after they picked Tyler fucking Wotherspoon. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It hurts a little bit. Hindsight being what it is, but it is what it is. Okay, 82 people in here. This has been great. I want to pivot a little bit here. I put some notes together at the end. First of all, we got to address the, for producer Drew's sake, the Lucic and McDermott fight.
Woo.
That was the most
Wow.
entertaining part of the game if you were a Flames fan.
And that's one of the silver linings that you have to take as a Flames fan too, is that not a lot, like very small amounts of stuff went right in this game, but seeing Lucic bring out the physical side, what happened 2 minutes after Lucic fought? Flames
Yeah.
put their only goal up on the board.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that Lucic needs to realize that physicality definitely sets a tone for the players on the ice.
Yep.
And that's, absolutely. What a fight that was.
And it was a chippy game beyond that too. McKinnon was getting rattled up and Backlund was public enemy number one in the Mile High City tonight. So there were some wanted posters out for him in Denver after this game. But yeah, it was chippier than I thought it was going to be. But one thing that I really noticed too was just the Flames' completely evident lack of foot speed compared to some of the teams or some of the league's elite teams. Look, the Avs have slipped a little bit and they're finally clawing their way back, but they've dealt with so many fucking injuries this year.
Oh yeah.
It's bound. They're bound to come back. And they're gonna go on a run and they're gonna do their thing because they're the Avs and they're good. But the Flames very clearly lack foot speed, and one of the biggest things too, and I want your take on this as well. How well does Colorado, when they finally set up shop in the offensive zone, how fucking well do they move the puck?
Oh my God!
Like,
man.
it's
and that's
so
without Cale
fluid.
Makar.
Or Landeskog.
Or Landeskog, exactly. Yeah, no, that's one thing that I was watching this game, and that was like a point that if you didn't make, I wanted to make as well, because the Avalanche got that puck into the Flames zone at their own will.
Oh, yeah.
They absolutely flew into the zone. It was so evident on that Mulligan goal when he just absolutely just flew right past the door off like it was nothing. The Avalanche show that this game of hockey in the NHL, it's no longer Daryl Sutter hockey. It's no longer big physical. It is speed, it is skill, and they absolutely displayed it tonight with how fast, how good puck movement, how well they cycled the puck. Like they were, it was just unreal how good the Avalanche looked, and that's without arguably the best defenseman in the NHL and their captain who plays on their top line. It's nuts how good the Avalanche are at that.
Yeah, and it's going to be crazy too. I think I can't remember if I saw this or read this or heard this correctly, but I think Landeskog's going to be out for a little bit, but it sounds like the timeline's going to line up with just so happens when the salary cap isn't around in the playoffs.
Go figure.
So the Avs are going to go do their thing. They're going to go get their guy at the deadline, whoever the hell that might be. and then Landeskog's going to be coming back just in time for playoffs. It's going to be a team to be reckoned with. Georgiev is playing great.
Georgiev's playing great too.
He played some pretty solid minutes between the pipes there tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, the Flames, and it's been a struggle all year. They've been getting better, I think, as of late, of getting more quality shots off. They're still taking some pretty stupid perimeter shots. I don't know what the deal is with that. Like, I know Daryl loves to get pucks on net, but perimeter shots that don't really provide much danger, like if there's no traffic, there's no nothing, there's nobody waiting to tap in a rebound. But it just also speaks to their clear lack of finish. Yeah. And it's been a problem all year. Like, kind of like to segue into trade deadline stuff. Do you see the Flames going out and getting a finisher? Do you think, like, I guess to segue to trade deadline, excuse me, tell me what you think is going to happen or what you want to happen, and then tell me what you think is going to happen.
Okay, absolutely. So this reminds me. Okay, so what I want the Flames to do, right? I would be totally fine if they decided to sell.
Yep.
If they wanted to get rid of those guys with good contracts on term, I would totally be okay with it and completely understand. There is one player that I would absolutely love to see join this Flames team, and that's none other than the guy that was on Huberdeau's line last year, Anthony Duclair.
Yes,
I would love to see Anthony Duclair on the Flames. He has such a great contract, and he has that chemistry that the Flames are obviously lacking. Now, what the Flames are probably going to do, because we know how this happens, trade deadline for the Flames is basically an extended sleep-in.
Yep.
I referenced the whole Mark Stone sweepstakes.
Oh, fuck, not those.
The Flames were in the race for fucking Mark Stone, the best two-way forward in the game. And what did they do? They got Oscar Fantenberg.
Was that the Forbert year too?
I'm pretty sure it was literally just Fantenberg.
It may have been.
It could have been Forbert, but
no,
it was
Forbert
not
was
Mark Stone.
Forbert was the Forbert Gustafsson year. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
It sure as hell was not Mark Stone. So I would not be surprised if the Flames are like, well, you know, we kind of have a chance to make it here, and then they do dick all.
You're probably right. You're probably right, and that's just kind of like been the Flames' MO.
That's Calgary
aside
hockey, baby.
Aside from last year when the Valentine's Day trade took place and they brought in Toffoli, and then on deadline day they bring in Kalle Järnkrok, who was Elias Lindholm's cousin, and that's about it. Yeah, he was cousins with Lindholm, and that's the only noteworthy stat that you can pull from that. Mind you, he's playing fucking great with Toronto right now. Yeah, he's fitting into that system really well. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be this deadline too, and I think Tree's kind of alluded to it. Like, I don't think he really wants, and I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't really, like, he sees what's going on, and I don't think he's stupid.
No.
Like, I don't think and he probably shouldn't be buying. He should be selling. Especially given, like I said, there's a market out there for players that have, players that are on an expiring deal and players that are, maybe 2 years out. So it's going to be interesting. And to tease something too, I don't know if I'm allowed to say too much, but keep your eye out on trade deadline day. I know the SDP boys are going to be doing something. And then in typical Game Over fashion, once the trade deadline's done, there might be some Game Over coverage for that. Some extended coverage after the SDP boys hop off. So we're gonna be announcing that soon. But a little bit of an inside information for the 75 people watching Game Over Calgary right now. Okay, we're going to take some more questions. We're gonna read some more comments here, and then, as Jay Money loves to hear me say, we're gonna put a bow on tonight's episode of Game Over Calgary. The Flames falling 4-1 to the Colorado Avalanche in Denver. Okay, let's scroll back here and see. We've got a lot of people watching and a lot of people putting some comments in the chat here. J Money saying, playoffs? Are you kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. That's I think that's the epitome of what it feels like to be a Calgary Flames fan.
Flames hockey, baby.
That's it. Perpetual mediocrity, as we like to throw out in the Twitterverse. I don't know hockey, but what I do know is Zoo helps me with bets. That one coming from Luna.
And where can you make those bets at?
sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. You're a natural. The plugs of.
Am I a natural or a sellout?
I don't know, either or, but but it both work. Both of those work for the nature of this stream. If you were Sutter, what's the first thing you'd change? Question for everyone. That's a good one from Eric. I'll start with you.
If I was Sutter,
what would you change?
I would change my occupation and go back to the farm. Am I wrong, chat?
No,
am I wrong?
Not a fucking chance you're wrong. That was, yeah, I would change careers. That's a good one. Oh, I can't top that. I just can't top that. Nate saying, can Steve's book become an anthology of blogs or something for the Canadian team's STPN host? Because the Calgary Flames are ruining my life, but I love them somehow. Shameless plug to the powers that be. I'm reading Steve's book right now, fully admitting that I haven't read it in the past, but that's okay. Fucking incredible book. If you guys love that kind of stuff and you love reading people's stories and how they came up, I highly recommend This Team Has Ruined My Life, but I still love them because it is fucking fun. It's a very, very cool book. Let's see here. You keep Toffoli's name out of your mouth. That one coming from James. A lot of people saying, replying to Eric here. James saying, once again, trade Lucic to the Pens because they want to get tougher.
I think Crosby in a first.
Yeah. What's the price tag for 87? Is it Lucic?
I hope so.
Lucic and Matty Phillips. Because
there
everybody should be clamoring over Matty Phillips on the trade market this year, right? Pending UFA. There's another one. As a neutral fan, I wanted the third to erupt as a fight night. That one coming from Carl. I legit think Huberdeau doesn't want the puck. It's amazing to see. 10.5 million. Quarterbacking Kings talk. What's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. Audie, the Flames remind me of the 2017 Kings. Big, slow, and outcoached. Was Sutter still around in 2017 with the Kings?
Fact check time. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, you look it up. I'll keep reading because I want to know if that's the case because that'd be pretty similar.
What did you say, 2017?
2017
right.
Kings.
Okay.
James also saying no media yet from the Flames after this game. I wonder if they're having a team meeting. Eyes emoji. Everybody spam eyes emoji in the chat. Duclair would be good. They need finishers. How about giving Phillips an actual chance for a finisher? Do they have to trade anyone unless they want to? What?
He was the coach in
Yeah,
2017.
yeah, right? That makes sense.
Makes so much sense.
It makes too much sense. And I bet you Lucic was on that roster too if you looked it up. How about giving Phillips an actual chance? Yeah, I think that ship has sailed. I don't think that we're going to see much of him anymore. I don't think we ever see him again in the Flaming Sea, unfortunately. No. Okay, yeah. If you're an SDP listener, I think the Flames need Ross Boston. I think that's about who they need. Okay, this has been great. This has been a lot of fun. We got 82 people in here, man. I'm not gonna say it, because it's me, because it's not. But this is the most viewers we've had in a long time, and it might because it's your boy Zoo. You see what I did there? All right, we're gonna lose you soon because we got freaking 4 minutes left on Zoom. But please plug away. Tell people what you're up to. All the amazing things you're doing on YouTube, TikTok. All that fun stuff, and where they can find you on social media as well. The floor is yours.
I don't know if it's amazing, but I spent a lot of time at my desk playing Xbox, so
that's
amazing to me.
Yes.
It's amazing to me. Well, okay, I guess my name's Zoo. I am a YouTuber. I make NHL 23 videos. I am the idiot that decided to play 100 games of NHL 23 and then
it went off.
What happened
and
in
it went
every
off.
game. It did go off. Not gonna lie, but. Yeah, you can, subscribe to me, youtube.com/yourboyzoo. I'm on TikTok, Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I like to bitch about the Flames 24/7.
Hey,
so
don't we all?
If you guys are obviously into that, so same thing. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button on the SDPN channel. Check out all the other game overs. If you haven't checked out the Steve Dangle podcast, you're probably living under a rock.
Yes.
So check that out as well. And turn that notification bell on so you'll be notified every time a game over goes live.
What I tell you, he's a natural, and you got all the right people watching too. You take notes, people. Hey, this has been great. I appreciate it, man. And it's been some time in the making. We're gonna definitely have you back on, because this was a lot of fun. Okay, guys, Flames are back in action on Tuesday against none other than the Boston Bruins, who just happen to be very, very good at the game of stick puck. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock from the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. Peter Klein will have your game over call. I will be in the Saddle Dome, so wish me, yeah, you're damn right we are. Wish me luck. Okay, everybody be well. Thank you so much for watching. This has been great. If you're listening on playback, please be sure to give us a review on your preferred podcatcher and subscribe to SDPN Sports on YouTube, like the stream, and subscribe on your favorite podcatcher as well. We will see you on Tuesday. Peter will see you on Tuesday. I will see you guys at the next one, whenever that is. Be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you later, friends. Peace.
Get